Oh, right. Can somebody tell me if I'm live or not here? I'm having problems with my camera. We must be live, right? Somebody put something in comments, please. All right, so I'm going to act as if we're live. Welcome, everybody. Your fielderschoice.com daily hit and run show live for Wednesday morning. Welcome, everybody. But please, somebody put something in the comments if you guys can hear me or not, or see me. So I'm not just talking to myself. Okay, so fielderschoice.com every morning, Ron, 10 a.m. Welcome to anybody new. We have a $25 a month special going on still, MLB special that includes all sports, and that includes tennis. When we have the big tennis matches, that includes NASCAR, that includes NHL showdowns, so on and so forth. But mainly, baseball is our marquee. It's our main sport, and we cashed in last night. So we had a good show yesterday. I had a guest host. I'm back solo today, but we're back with a 10 games. I think it's a 10-game slate tonight. So we have a early game. I think it's 2 games early. Then we have 3 games at 6:40, which you're not covering. It was kind of made me mad, but I thought Cincinnati and Joey Votto were on this 7 p.m. slate, but they're not. So sorry, I have Votto as our cover boy, and he's not in the slate. So, but let's pretty much get right into it. So let's hit Vegas first. Well, no, let's hit weather first. So we do have a little bit of weather. We don't have to worry about Cincinnati, Chicago, Baltimore. We still have some rain, it looks like. This is according to Kevin Roth from Roto Grinders. I don't think enough for postponement, but keep an eye on that. We do have to keep an eye on Texas at Cleveland. Texas at Cleveland. That is one of the 7 o'clock games. So that's going to be that's an orange right now. So they're talking about moderate to heavy rain moving in during the game, maybe stick around for a couple hours. He's looking at a possible postponement. So as we're talking about this slate, Texas, Cleveland, let's keep an eye on that. May not go. And that's it for weather. So mainly looking at Texas, Cleveland, possible postponement, and then Cubs at Baltimore Orioles. All right. So I guess Sean V, your comments. You guys can see me, right? I'm all stressed out here because I didn't see the opening video for some reason. So thank you. What's up, Sean V? So we're gonna kind of start over here. We're gonna work this slate together. I did dig in a little bit this morning, but I got final exams today for my master's, so it's been a crazy morning. So we're going to let's think through this together. Vegas right now, 7 p.m. slot. Top overall team implied runs of Braves 5.9. Braves against Oakland again. Oakland's got a new kid make his debut. I'm going to talk about him in a second. This Jared Koenig kid. And then we got the Giants 5.5 runs against the Rockies. There's only 2 teams above 5 runs. Giants 5.5, Braves 5.9. After that, we have Dodgers, Red Sox 4.9 implied, and then the Cubbies at 4.5, and that's it. Anybody above 4.5. So Cubbies, Red Sox, Dodgers, Yankees, Giants, Braves. For the money line, who's our biggest favorite on the slate? We have Braves minus 242, Giants minus 221. Only 2 teams above minus 200, and then the Yankees only minus 176, even though Nestor's pitching. So Braves are biggest favorite minus 242. They let me down again last night. Every time I stack the Braves or Blue Jays, this happens. But big favorites again, and Giants minus 221. Okay, that's Vegas. So let's talk baseball. Get all that housekeeping out of the way. Once again, your fielderschoice.com, $25 a month. That includes all sports. MLB special is still going on probably for like another week or so. And we pretty much only have MLB really right now until NFL starts. And then my college football. So most of you guys have been with me for college football. You know our college football coverage is pretty intense, like MLB. MLB's been good. We need a good GPP hit here, though. We've been cashing on that. We've been cashing our cores every night for like 2 weeks. We've been get all the cash gains, but it seems like it's a while since I've had a really good GPP hit. So maybe we'll maybe we'll hit it tonight. Okay, let's look at pitching right now. Ownership wise, is there any ownership up yet? Eric, I'm not sure if Eric can do ownership today. Is there any ownership up yet? I don't see anything on RG, so I'll have something here. So it's Nestor Cortez. The question's going to be Masters and Gambling. Yeah, it actually should be. I mean, that's my whole life. But clinical mental health counseling with a specialty in drug addiction. So that's what it is. Clinical mental health counseling. All right, I'm trying to see if I have ownership in other spots. It should be some. Okay, we do it. Okay, I got some ownership. Okay, so Nestor Cortez, I think, is a top pitcher on a slate, but is he going to be your top pitcher you want to use for cash? I mean, I'm a huge Cortez guy. I don't think actually he's going to be your cash play. Price 10.3. And I don't know. You got the wind blowing out. Going against Minnesota can scare you. They are a favorite. Minnesota's not great against lefties. 303 WOBA, 139 ISO. What big thing? And Nestor's strikeouts have gone down a little bit. So he's at 8.4 per 9 over his last 5 starts. 4 wins in those 5 starts. 269 FIP, 161 ERA, sub 1 WHIP. The K's are lacking a little bit. On a season, they're still above 10, but they are. I don't, man. I've been playing Nestor all year, and he's only had that one game against the White Sox where he had 19 DK. Every other game's been like 25 plus. I mean, his last 4, 30 DK, 27 DK, that 19, 32, 36. So yeah, I mean, he's in play, but I don't think he's going to be your popular cashy play tonight. So definitely a GPP play. What I'm looking at here in ownership wise, this is gonna be a very interesting slate here. Right now, it's showing Sean Manaea as the top owned arm, but I'm not seeing much Cortez in there. So we're looking at like a Manaea, Nola, Eovaldi, and then an Ian Anderson. All 4 of those guys are all kind of same neighborhood. So let's try to break this down. But what about Shane Bieber? Well, Bieber's going today. I'm not even seeing Bieber on some, or is it Pilkington? What's going on here? Wait, does Bieber get scratched or something? Why am I seeing this Connor Pilkington kid now? What do you guys see in chat? Is it Pilkington now against Texas? So I believe it may be Pilkington. So if it's not Bieber, Ian Anderson right now is catching some love, I see, as I'm going through projections. Is it a little bit of a sophomore slump? Yeah. But Ian Anderson at 7.7, I mean, yeah, at 6.4 DK, 7.7 FanDuel, too cheap. Going up against Oakland. Now, this is a guy that we know he's got talent. We've seen the stuff he can do. We've seen him in the playoffs. He's actually had some tough matchups this year. So, it's been a tough go round for him, but you can't ask for a better matchup right now against Oakland. So let me see his last 5. Strikeouts really aren't there. 8.4, not horrible. 5.28 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, but some top. I mean, he was in Coors. Miami hit him around a little bit, but Miami hit him around a lot. Milwaukee, he was so. So he hasn't had a really good game since the Padres at Petco way back in early April. I think this could be a get-right game final for Ian Anderson, but the kid is still talented. I mean, the A's ranking a bottom 3, runs scored, OBP, OPS, WOBA, ex-WOBA. Big favorite. Like we just said, he's the highest favorite on the board. he's going to be probably, I think Anderson, you're going to see Anderson's ownership numbers pop up actually more as the day goes on. Right now, we have him 4th projected ownership-wise. But maybe with Anderson being 6'4", that may be an avenue to get Nestor Cortez in there with his 10-3 price on DK. He's more expensive on FanDuel at 11. With 1.50 ERA, 0.87 whip, you got to like Nestor. So I think you can get Nestor and Ian. Now, other guys to look at, of course, we got, what about Chris Bassett? Bassett's going to come in pretty low owned probably. Bassett against San Diego. He had that meltdown against the Giants 3 starts ago, but every other game has been great. So 3-1, 3.86 ERA, 10K per 9. We like the looks of that. Padres, you look at the BVPs on the Padres, they do not hit Bassett in their career. And against righties, the whole team, 225 average, 276 WOBA. Bassett's in a good spot. And if you don't play Bassett, I don't pick on Bassett. So I don't play Padres Bassett, but I think Bassett at 8-2 is going to be a sneaky little play here. Like you can roll a Bassett Anderson if you don't go Anderson and Nestor. But who else we got here? Marcus Stroman. I think Marcus Stroman is actually not a bad spot. He had that last start was horrible. We know that. Gave up 9 runs on 10 hits, but we all know Marcus Stroman is a better pitcher than that. Just look at his whip, 1.12, 3.39 xFIP. So get rid of that ERA, and those numbers look good. If he can cut down those home runs, 1.52 per 9, he's got bad luck. I'm seeing here, 57% strand rate. We have a good game coming from Marcus Stroman against Baltimore. So am I saying play him in cash? Probably not. But let's see, 6-9 on DK. Man, you can get a lot of bats and you roll a Stroman, Ian Anderson lineup out there. So Stroman's in play. Definitely. James Grande, what's up, man? So yeah, James Grande, so you're a Bassett man. This is a very interesting pitching slate. So I'm going to get to Jared Koenig. Jared Koenig. This kid come out of nowhere. He's making his debut. I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, but for the A's. Now, in 2 years, this kid's gone from obscure minor league free agent to all of a sudden he starts tonight against Atlanta. And look at this kid's numbers. Since he made his debut in Double-A 2 years ago. Well, this is Double-A. He was in Midland, I think. He ended up being a pitcher of the year in Midland that year, 2.94 ERA and 174 innings. And right now leads is second lowest ERA in the Pacific Coast League. The Pacific Coast League, the hitters league, remember, 2.21 ERA in the Pacific Coast League is pretty damn good. So over his last 5 starts down in majors, he's got 5 runs, 32 innings, 39 strikeouts, only 7 walks. Once again, PCL league is a difficult league to pitch in. So look at how those numbers have really improved on this Koenig kid. And now he's gone up from the Texas League, which is no walk in the park for pitchers either. The Texas League 2 years ago, K9, he went from 7.42 strikeouts to 10.36. His walks went down from 3.19 to 2.55. And the kid's limiting home runs. So thank you to the Athletic for giving me some of this information. Great pitch count, averaging 15 pitches per inning, holding left-handed bat. Once again, we're talking minor leagues here, but we're talking Pacific Coast League. So Jared Koenig is very impressive here. And what kind of pitch mix we can see from this kid tonight? Fastball, a lot of fastballs, elite almost slider cutter, it looks like. They're saying that fastball can take on a slider look sometimes. and a curveball changeup. So he's got 4 pitches in his arsenal. So once again, I'm not saying we're not pitching Jared Koenig in cash, but you want somebody different today. And we've seen how look at the Braves did last night. The Braves just lied down last night. If it wasn't for Acuna, there would have been nothing there. Take a shot at Jared Koenig at 5K against Atlanta. Now they're in Truist, so it's a hitter's park and all that. Could the kid get dick slapped? Of course he could. He could get bombed tonight. But I think it's a great GPP play. If you're multi-entering, if you're running 10 lineups or more, throw Jared Koenig and stuff because the kid has got stuff and he's shown it in the minor leagues. And that's why he's obviously earned his way up today in Oakland. And going back to Bassett, I'm liking Bassett more. And like we had said, it, Jimmy Grande just said here in the chat too about the pit righties against the Padres. They can't hit righties. I didn't mention Manea. Manea's going to be popular. Nathan Eovaldi's sitting there also. Because right now our ownership is looking like Manea, Nola, Eovaldi, the top 3. It's going to change as the day goes on. Out of those 3, Angels are going to wake up here. Nola against Milwaukee. Man, there's nobody here jumps out at all. I need to get Jim here on my show here with me here too. Okay, so who am I forgetting for pitching? I mentioned Stroman, mentioned Ian Anderson, and I did mention Nola Quick. He's been really unlucky too. So 296 Sierra, 450 ERA, last 5 starts. He's not walking anybody. I think Nola actually has the best K/9 on the slate, 10.7. So good strand rate, high. So we got to find out about the Shane Bieber. I guess Shane Bieber's not starting, right? All thing I'm seeing is Pilkington. It was actually Pilkington is going to be sneaky GPP play also. Was that last game he started, he looked good. All right, so how am I going to rank these guys? And things are going to change as the day goes on, but I really think I'm looking probably Nola / Bassett or Ian Anderson as my top arms right now for cash. And man, I am starting to lean Chris Bassett. We know how the Padres do not like to hit right-handed bats. So maybe give Chris Bassett a shot at 8.2. 8.2 may be a little watermark for him, right? Yeah, last start is 9.4, 9.6, 10.5, 10.3. So, and beside that blow up against San Francisco, and St. Louis, he had a shit game too. He said he'll get you in the 20s. That's just usually not going to get you 30. I think he had that his first start of the year, but you're not going to see 30 DK out of Bassett, but we should see 20, 23 out of Bassett. The rest of these guys are all very volatile. Sean Manaea is volatile. So Alex Wood's volatile. Dane Dunning's impressive. A lot of pitchers here. I mean, I consider talking about all of them, but Dunning and Tony Gonsolin. Gonsolin's been pitching. Gonsolin is really flown under the radar. He was the ERA leader. I'm not sure if he still is anymore, but he was leading the league in ERA like over the weekend. Look at Gonsolin's logs: 26, 25, 23, 25, 22, 21 at 9.2. He's got to be in play also. Then the White Sox struggle against righties. I'm not how the White Sox strike out against righties. 22.3. So it's in the ballpark. So Gonsolin's in it too. It's gonna be very low owned. Probably more GPP play. Okay, so I'm looking right now, cash. So it's not like a broken record here. That's my question too about Pilkington. Right before I went on the air, I was listening to something on the radio, and they're talking about Pilkington starting tonight. That's what I mean. And then the whole time I thought it was Bieber. So I got to if somebody in a chat can try to figure out if it's a Bieber or Pilkington. But it comes down to you play Nestor or not. If you play Nestor, you probably have to play Ian. If you don't play Nestor, I think you play Bassett with Ian Anderson or Noah. So nobody's going to really run away with cash pitching tonight, I think. I think it's going to be a very open slate. All right, that's pitching. I hope I didn't confuse you guys. We got to a bad start here with my camera, but anybody else, any questions on pitching? Not, we're just going to move on to bats. It's a good 10-game slate. I'm mad because I thought Cincinnati was on the slate. I haven't had a chance to play Joey V all week. And the stupid 640 started. I don't understand why DK should start at 640 also. But we have a 10-gamer. 2 gamers at what? 2 games at 12. A nice turbo slate, though, at 640. As long as the rain stays. And then we have our 10-game we're going to start with. Okay, let's go. Catching. What do we got for catching? Looking at BVP really quick. Anybody jumps out? No. Tucker Barnhart hits Mitch Keller a little bit, but everybody hits Mitch Keller, right? Tucker Barnhart, 300 BVP. No big deal. Looking at some advanced metrics. Let's go with Wilson Contreras is our top guy. We want to talk advanced metrics. Hit a bomb. William Contreras. William Contreras. This kid is just raking right now. I did the smart. I did play the brother over him last night, and Wilson had a home run. But this kid's got hits in 3 straight. A great spot though against the kid Koenig. I don't want to pick on his Koenig kids. I think the kid's got talent, but Contreras is probably your top play at 4,900. 263 ISO. He's got that platoon advantage. Will Smith against Cueto. Johnny Cueto's going tonight. Is Cueto after that last game? Is Cueto finally starting to go back to normal? Toronto game wasn't bad. Took the loss. Almost 90 pitches. Still, we can pick on Johnny Cueto with Will Smith. Will Smith loves that reverse split. 258 ISO. 375 WOBA. I'm not picking on Cortez with Gary Sanchez. I like Ian Anderson, so we're not going Sean Murphy. How about the Cubbies? Jordan Lyles tonight, right? So as long as it's not the Yankees, we can pick on Jordan Lyles. Wilson Contreras. So Wilson Contreras is actually cheaper than his brother and just continues to rake. Hitting 320 over the last week. 300 last month. Last month, 7 homers, 14 ribbies for Wilson Contreras. So Wilson Contreras is probably overall our top play, and then the brother against the kid Koenig under that. Value-wise, I love Sam Hawk, but once again, as a pill contender Bieber here. It's going for Minnesota. Chris Archer, right? It's Chris Archer, I believe, right? So Trevino at 3K should be a little bit cheaper though. It's Contreras game. Pay up to Wilson Contreras. That's the way I'm looking right now. There's nobody else really I see that I really want to play, unless we all know how value catches all pop up, as starting lineups go up. Okay, so Will Smith, Wilson Contreras, William Contreras, or drop down and just get cheapy when lineups come out. Maybe we'll get somebody in a 2K range, like a Nito type guy or something, something like that. Yeah. Christian Vasquez. It's 4K, Vasquez is coming down to earth a little bit. All right, move on. We don't like to talk about catchers. First base hot spot. Houston game's early, right? Darn it. This Ty France would have been in a good spot. So if we can't play Ty France, Trey Mancini. Mancini is stroking right now. He's always hit Stroman, 7 for 19 lifetime, 368 batting average. Not bad. So Stroman's in play. Mancini's in play. Rolling around to who's got the best advanced metrics on the slate overall is Freddie Freeman. Still only 4.9. Lock Freddie Freeman against Cueto. Look at these numbers: 253 ISO, 426 WOBA, 317 batting average against right-handed pitching. It's Freddie Freeman. Is Freeman knocking the leather out the ball? No, 190 with the last week, but still, it's Freddie Freeman. He's going to get hot again. Freeman should play at 4.9. If you don't want to play Freddie Freeman, who else we got going here? Matt Olson's against the lefty. I'm not playing Olson tonight. Jared Walsh does get a righty tonight, so Walsh should always be my top GPP play. He's only 3,900. 395 WOBA, 268 ISO. These are elite numbers against right-handed pitching. Jared Walsh. Love to play. GPP though. Pete Alonso is going to be very low owned because he's going up against Sean Manaea. Alonso, of course, can hit lefties. He's a right-handed bat, 298 ISO. So Alonso, great GPP play. He's not going to be high owned. I'm looking at ownership is Freddie. So ownership right now is Freddie Schwindel, Freddie and Frank Schwindel. Freddie. Don't even overthink this, I guess, right? The power hasn't been really there. It's still Freddie Freeman. Josh Naylor, decent cheapo. 277 average, 491 slugging, 824 OPS for Josh Naylor this year. He's up at DK, but still cheap on FanDuel. So Josh Naylor is nice and cheap. That's it. I really would have wanted to play Ty France or Joey, but they got to be on that 640 slate. Anybody that really cheap that we're missing at first base? Voits against Bassett, no. Mountcastle, still cheap. Keston, no, he's going against Nola. So Frank Schwindel at 3,400. Okay, so this is how we're going to rank them. And Schwindel's hitting 290 over the last week, 250 over the last month, 6 homers, 16 ribbies the last 20 games. So Freddie's your top play. If you don't want to go Freddie, Frank Schwindel is going to be the other cashy play, cheaper. GPP plays, Pete Alonso, my man Jared Walsh, and probably that's it. Rizzo against Archer, yeah. In the stadium, right? Gets a short porch. Rizzo's heating up again, right? So double digit last 4 straight. He had a home run yesterday. He did. I didn't realize that. So yeah, Rizzo's in play. Rizzo's back to 5.5 though. So GPP. Freddie's popular. Then GPP, Alonso, Rizzo, Jared Walsh, Trey Mancini, Mountcastle, and then Frank Schwindel is like your cheapo cash play if you don't want to go Freddie. But it's all about free Freddie here. That's right. Alonso, what did Alonso get hit last night or something? X-rays came back negative to his hand. So I bet you he is out tonight. He is going for MRI though too, even though the X-rays came back negative. So I bet you he's not back tonight. So there you go. So that would be then I would throw it. Then Rizzo will be like your top pivot there. Yep. All right, free Freddie day. Boom. Second base. Man, these Astros got great BVPs, man. So they're not in a slate. Colton Wong hits Nola a little bit, looks like. Man, I got lucky playing the Wong the other night. We cored him. He had those 2 home runs. Was it yesterday or day before yesterday, I guess it was? We cored Wong and got the 2 homers. That was nice. Okay, so second base, looking at popularity, ownership, however you want to say it, it's going to be nobody's really jumping out. Nicky Madrigal, Trevor Story, they're only ones over 10%. I don't probably play Nicky Madrigal, but Story is probably your pay up at 5.3. Boy, did Ozzie let me down last night. He did almost lose one last night though. He was close. Struck out twice. So do we go back to Ozzie against the lefty, against the kid Koenig, at 48? Yeah, Ozzie. I mean, you play Ozzie against lefties. He's going to lose one here eventually. So Story or Ozzie. Story 314 ISO, 419 Woba, great spot. Ozzie, great spot. Marcus Semien is really crushing right now, really starting to heat up. But we don't know who else pitching for Cleveland. Is it Bieber or Pilkington? Morel led off last night at a home run. What's his price now? Now he's 4,300, but the kids earned it, right? 320 over the last week. Hit the bomb last night. He had a triple. Yeah, he had a triple last night too, didn't he? So Yeah, Semion's heating up. Let's see, last 3 games. Huge. Oh, he had 2 home runs at Cleveland yesterday. I know he had 1. Oh, I gotta get with times here. So Semien, yeah, he's really on fire, especially if against this Pilkington kid. If it's against Pilkington, then Semien becomes a top play at 47. Probably because he's hitting the ball so well, probably even over Ozzy. If it's Bieber, more of a GPP play. But Story is going to be your popular play. Morel, Price is probably going to put him back in GPP territory. It's really, it for a top second baseman. Feels like I'm missing somebody. Probably I mentioned Story. This is pay up. Story, Albies, or Semien. It looks like the way I'm looking at it. If you really want to get different and you want to go value, we're probably looking at this. If this Alvarez kid plays again for the Dodgers, I played him last night because he was minimum price. I guess he's going to play again. He's going up against Johnny Cueto, Eddie Alvarez. He had a donut. At least it wasn't a gold sombrero like Austin Riley had. Rogo Dort always in play. You want to get a home run, a bust. But so it's pay up at second base, I would think. Unless you want to play Nicky Madrigal at bare minimum against Jordan Lyles. But I think you got to play Story, Albies, or Semien tonight. Metal Alloy 419, good call on Andres Jimenez. I've been playing Jimenez a lot, and he flies right under the cracks every night. So, good call on Jimenez. I guess a lot of times he doesn't pop up being what I'm talking here because of his metrics aren't like earth-shattering, but he gets the platoon. Dunning's a righty, right? Jimenez is a lefty. 169 ISO, 315 WOBA, not bad. Hitting 380 over the last week. 2 homers, 5 ribbies over the last 20 games. He got 264 ISO. So Jimenez, what's Jimenez price? 4.3. He's always around 4.3, right? So Jimenez, good call. Good call on Andre Jimenez. Polanco, I don't know. It's Polanco in play, but it's against Nestor. So I don't mess with the stash. There you go. That's it. Said Story, Albies, Semien. Probably Semien, as long as if it's Pilkington. If it's not Pilkington, if it's Bieber, then I'm probably gonna go to Ozzy Albies. Third base now. Nobody, no big histories for any kind of BVP stuff. J-Ram should play, obviously, but 6K. If you can get the J-Ram, you play him. 307 ISO vulnerable, but the man's on fire. He's a god. Best third baseman in baseball. Boom. If not, if you got to drop down a little bit. Wisdom against Lyles, righty though, but Lyles can hit righty. Wisdom can hit righties. Boomer Busto with Wisdom. So GPP, the bringer of rain, Josh Donaldson at 54. I'm gonna go. I'll try to get the other $600 then and get J-Ram though. So, I don't mess with Bassett. So Machado's GPP. Riley's in the spot. This is a big question. Do you stack the Braves against this kid and hope they finally do something, or Braves are such a weird team this year? Here's one. A real sneaky play, I think. Is Wilmer Flores still third base eligible on DK? Great spot against Sensatella, I think. Even though you play Flores against lefties, Flores has been real well against righties this year, especially at home. So I think Wilmer Flores, sneaky spot at third base. If you're not going to go with J-Ram. J-Ram's your play. Wisdom's your GPP pivot. And then you can drop down to, like a Wilmer Flores, be a little bit different here. This Patrick Wisdom is really flying on the radar. The average isn't there, but he's mashing. Let me see. I have a stat. Last 16 games, 4 doubles, 6 homers, 363 OBP, 580 slugging. Boom, great spot for Patrick Wisdom. If you can't get the J Ram, but J Ram is a great play. JD Davis, only 2,900 on DK. He should get his spot tonight against Manea. So he's really making contact with the ball, JD Davis, too. All right, anybody I'm forgetting? This is turned out to be a pretty basic slate for hitting. It's most of the usual suspects here, and we got to find the value somewhere. Shortstop. I keep forgetting to look in chat. Anything? Who's Metal Allen? Who are you talking about? Expensive at 5,100. I lost you guys somewhere. All right, shortstop. No BBP stuff. So it's going to probably be Flores. Oh, Flores is 5,100. So maybe I should retract what I said. No, but yeah, he's 5,100. But I think he's in a good spot still. GPP only. So maybe you're right. I guess he's first base only. Senzatella is terrible. Cores or not. Okay, shortstop. Corey Seager, depending on who is pitching. Trey, of course, at 5,800 though. Bogarts, 55. Dansby, all great spots. You can slide Andres Jimenez in there. It's hitting really well. We just talked about. Bobby Payup, I guess, at shortstop. Where we go? I mean, out of all those guys, we're probably going to end up going. Probably my favorite is probably Bogarts. Bogarts is probably my top shortstop, 55. Hits lefty's great. Detmers is good, but he's inconsistent for the Angels. And Bogarts against lefties, 359 batting average, 945 OPS, 415 WOBA, 174 WRC plus. Boom, great spot. Xander Bogarts is our top play at shortstop. If you don't want to go Bogarts, then you go to Dansby. Against Koenig, the kid. Dansby's been stealing bases. Last 30 games, he's been really, really well. 318 batting average, 390 OBP, 42 slugging. Dansby, $300 less than Bogarts, but Bogarts is my top player, it looks like, overall. So I would rank him Bogarts, Swanson, Trey. And then you want to get a little bit different. We always have Andre Jimenez there. And then we want to get really different. Looking at like value-wise, we got Elvis Andrus is always in play against Ian Anderson. The Sosa kid for the Cardinals against Kluber. Donovan Walton. Maybe Walton could be a sneaky play because we know Senzatella sucks. Bryson Stott. So my top overall is probably like a Donovan or Walton or something, since Stella's terrible. Bogarts is day-to-day. Yeah, I like Eduardo Escobar, but I don't really consider – what's Escobar's price? Go back to third base. I thought he's like up in the fours. Oh, he's only 31? Yeah, Escobar then. It's Manea, no problem. I thought Escobar was like 41. I didn't realize he's 31. So good call, middle outlay 419 on Escobar's being a cheap value. If Bogarts is day-to-day, then we drop down to Dansby. What did I miss on Bogarts? Shoulder tightness. Severity is unclear. Should be considered day-to-day. Damn, I didn't even know that too. That was late game. So if not Bogarts, Dansby. No problem getting Andres Jimenez in there at 4,300. Boom. No problem at all. Kid's been hitting all season. Okay, outfield. We have the same suspects. We don't have to name them all. Acuna is the hottest hitter on the planet right now. If you can get him in, you play Acuna. If you can get Judge in with him, you play Judge. I know some guys here are big Judge fans. Some are Acuna fans. I just think it's apples to oranges, man. You can't make a decision on these two. Even being a Yankee fan, though, I just think the way Acuna's hitting right now, he's really stroking the ball, and he's finally starting to find that power, too. To me, Acuna's a top play. Best hitter on the planet right now. So, beside the big high-price guys, where else can we go? We gotta find value somewhere, and that would be maybe in the outfield. Austin Meadows come back last night. With that game got me all screwed up with that rain and stuff. If Austin Meadows is back, from all that whatever he had his vertigo and stuff, which I would slide Austin Meadows right back in against Mitch Keller, $3,800. I love Austin Meadows. Okay, so top overall plays. So we got Kyle Schwarber. Great spot again. We called those home runs a couple days ago. The home run spot again tonight. I think Schwarber's a good spot against Hauser. Not as confident as I was last Friday, but great spot. And wait, does Schwarber have a GPP here? That maybe interests me, unless I saw something else. But Schwarber, I like that spot. We like Harper too, of course. JD, yep. Let's get down his other price ranges. We all know who the stars are. Ian Happ, a good spot against Lyles. You could play Happ. Mike Yaz, Giants. So I'm starting to like these Giants tonight. Mike Yaz, definitely. Jock. What did Jock end up doing last night? Because I really started liking Jock as the day went on, and he was 1 for 4. So Jock is due. Jock and Mike Yaz, definite Giant stack tonight. Anybody else down there? Now Joey Gallo's back up to 3,900. He had 2 hits last night, no home runs. Now all of a sudden he's back among real players again. Kike against Detmers. Could dig that. Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins. I called him yesterday. I liked him a lot yesterday. Back right at it again today with Cedric Mullins. So Sean, you said Meadows didn't look right, and said he's been really struggling with that vertigo thing, and they were really, the Tigers are really concerned about that. But when Meadows is healthy, I love Meadows. Yeah, he's dizzy, earaches and stuff, and is Juan Lagares worth a look in the outfield? Juan Lagares, man, I've totally forgotten Juan. I mean, remember when Juan Lagares was a Met? He was a Met, right? And he was a little bit of a prospect at one time. So, and Juan Lagares is one of those dudes that can come in and, once a week, or whatever, if he's in a good spot, is going to get you something. So let's see. Maybe we have a sticky play here. What's Lagares' BBP? I mean, I see say 500. His played last night, 1 for 4, right? 1 for 4 last night. I mean, he's a type of guy, like you said, he's got a BBP. You throw him in there, and he's the type of guy to hit certain pitchers. So might be a good play, actually. I've been liking Profar now for a while, even though it is against Bassett, though. But I've been liking Profar for a while, especially when he's starting to hit. You got me interested in this Juan Lagares, though. But why am I not finding Lagares' BBP? What's the BBP? You can put on Oscar Gonzalez, definitely. Gonzalez always at that price. I like Gonzalez. Gonzalez gets hit almost every game. You're right, and you can't go wrong at that price. Eventually, his price is going to pop up. So, let's see who is the top overall punts here, because we all know what the big bats are. You choose one between Judge and and Acuna, and then you move on. But I'm looking at DraftKings. Our top overall punt in the outfield is Oscar Gonzalez. I'm looking, against Dane Dunning. It would be Oscar G. Beside him, if a Royal gets a start again, maybe he's still cheap. Hap is still too cheap. Heredia, I threw him in my cash last second when I saw when they pulled the ball and he came through the home run. Heredia gets righty lefty. Heredia's always will hit you a home run in these type of spots. So he's in a decent play. And then Luis Gonzalez for Giants, lefty righty against Sensatella. Another good spot. That's pretty much it. So you got to figure out pitching. You got to figure out you can go with Cortez or you're going to drop down a little bit. But right now I'm looking at Cortez, Ian Anderson I like, and a little Chris Bassett. I mean, I'll change as the day goes on though. Home run call. Who is the home run call of the day? It's going to be, I want to go back to Schwarber again, but I'm going to go back to Schwarber. If not Schwarber, let's look at Schwarber. It's Schwarber. Schwarber or Jock? Schwarber. Stacks. Who do we want for our top stack? 10 games. Nice slate to mess with. Red Sox against Detmers. So I mentioned the Giants. Giants against Sensatella. Definitely Giants against Sensatella. Well, up Giants. And then let's pick on Jordan Lyles with them Cubbies. Cubbies, Giants, Red Sox. And I guess even though I talked a bit at length about this kid for the A's, but once again, it's still the Braves he's going against, and the Braves could totally shellac him. So you got to look at the Braves too, of course. But I like the look of this Koenig kid, and I can see this Koenig kid going 4 innings, 5 innings, giving up 4 hits, 1 run, maybe 4 or 5 strikeouts, which would be a great debut for the kid against a team like the Braves in Truist, which is a top hitter's park. So I like this Koenig kid a lot. If it wasn't the Braves, I would be all over this kid, possibly even in cash, as a real sneaky play in cash. But it's a Braves, so you got to go with GPP only. All right. Any other questions? That went quick. Not. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Today's Wednesday. Be back Friday. No show on Thursdays with the split slates. Back Friday morning. Good luck tonight. 10 gamer. Once again, 2 gamer at 12. 3 gamer at 6:40, and then a main slate at 7:05. All right. Deuces.